Hello, everyone. I thought I would talk to you about getting multiple ideas for books at a time when you're working on your current project. Um, that can be very difficult because quite often I'll spend, time on the same book, working on the same book for months or years. And no matter how good the idea is, there are going to be times where I'm going to become interested in other things. But at the same time, I worry about starting another book because I worry I may be consumed so much with it that I will abandon my current project. That actually happened once. I was working on this one story about a satanic cult, and but then I became interested in Silent Reckoning, and I abandoned that story. I never finished it. Um, and then I lost all interest in it, and I never went back to it. And so it's one of those things where sometimes what I'm currently working on can just seem very dull. I mean, it's not because the story's dull, it's just if you work on something for a long period of time, no matter how interesting it is, it can seem dull to the author. Um, and so sometimes I want to shake things up, but at the same time, I worry about stretching myself too thin because it's hard enough to work on one project, let alone multiple. Quite often, like I'm having trouble finding time to edit my work and type it down into the computer since I'm writing by hand. I often have to do that on the weekend, and even then, sometimes I don't have time for it. So I just don't think I would have time for another project, even if I desperately wanted to write it, because there are several projects that I would like to write. I came up with one project that would be about a 19th century boarding school. It sounds like a really good idea. It would be no more than a novella. It's about that story about the teacher who's the poetry teacher who turns on her student. Um, I had an idea for that. I have an idea about writing a story about ancient Rome, or a fantasy story that resembles ancient Rome. I'm not sure which yet. Um, I have an idea for a naval adventure story that takes place in the 1700s, and I'm sure many other ideas that I can't think of right now. But I just don't have time to write all of those. Um, it's just I wish I did, but I just don't think it would be wise for me to, even though it may give me some breathing room. But at the same time, I just don't know if I would be able to, if I would ever finish a project, if every time I start one, I eventually go to something else. So to me, it's something that I'm tempted to do, but I worry about the slippery slope. And so I probably won't start a new project, even though at times I desperately want to, but ultimately I haven't made up my mind yet.